Michelle here, and in this video I'm going to be drawing some more bad guys as good guys, but this time I'm doing your requests. This video is specifically dedicated to a few people who have commented suggestions for me to do certain bad guys as good guys, or an ironically good situation that came up multiple times that I noticed that I just wanted to make sure you guys got your thing that you wanted to see. So here we go, we're gonna do it. The first person commented that they wanted to see Samara from The Ring as a tour guide. So the first one is that, we're gonna do that one. So starting out, I have a sketch that I'm doing over my first base sketch. I do like a first rough sketch that's pretty loose sometimes, and then I do another detailed sketch over that that's a little more polished, so I know exactly where I need all the lines to be before I do the line art. So this is my design for Samara, the girl. Samara? Whatever. The girl from The Ring. She comes out of the TV, she's all like, ugh. So this is her. So her legs are short, but her arms are like really long, and I feel like that adds to like the creep factor of the whole thing. Then when I started sketching the tourists, I was like kind of still doing that with the arm thing, and I drew the arms too long, and I was like, they all look like monkeys. This is not how arms are done, so I had to fix it halfway through, but then these arms still looked weird because if I sketched it the first time and then it was just weird and I didn't fix it beforehand, so by the time I got to it, and I kind of fixed it with the line art, but I didn't fix it with the sketches first, so that was my problem. So if the weird arms are a problem for you, I'm sorry. I know they're there too. I just couldn't figure out how to flip into it, okay? I'm sorry. As you could probably tell, there was a clip art image of a tour guide with a few tourists, and that is what I used for the composition. I didn't trace the whole thing, I just decided to trace where the people were standing in comparison to where the tour person was standing, so that I got the same composition in the picture. And that's all I really needed them for. So if you see them behind, that's why. I just put my own designs, my own characters on top of that, but I also did use the middle person as a tall person and the person far on this side as a really short person, just because I liked how it curved that way, like the line of their heads kind of curves up. It's got some good composition. Anyway, I just liked how the picture was formatted? I don't know if that's right. Anyway, I liked it, so I just decided to do it inspired from that. So pretty simple after that. I just did the line art and the color, and I tried to make it as colorful as I could without making it too bright. There's the arms that are bothering me again. And the original clip art this is inspired from, the girl in the front was holding a camera, so I thought it'd be cool if I made this girl hold like her cell phone, but it was kind of hard to get her hands to do that. It was hard. A lot about this was hard. Like, I like Samara the way she is with her really long arms. They're like all skeleton and stuff. It looks so cool. But then the tourists are just like, but this was also my warm-up for the day, so I hope that that's good. I hope it hurts when I know I could have done better and I don't have enough time to completely fix it. But I hope it's cool. I hope you like it anyway, because I spent a long time on that trying to get the parts right that I knew were wrong that I fixed, and after that I didn't really know how to fix it. So when it was all done, it ended up looking like this. I just put a simple background behind it because this one was not going to be super detailed, because I'm trying to get a lot of projects done really fast. Just get them all out there like really quickly. I have a big pile of like 8 things I need to do before Halloween, so like just bear with me if some of the things are a little more simplified. So I just put this blue little circle in the back. So that's what that one looked like. The second one was requested by this person who said that they would like to see Pennywise from It as a balloon salesman who's sad because he can't sell his balloons. But I put a twist on it. See, when I was a kid, there was this Ultimate Spider-Man video game where you played as Spider-Man, but you also played as Venom. And in that game, there was this kid that always would like lose his balloon and he would go, "My balloon!" And then you'd have to go and get the balloon. Or you were Venom and you just eat the kid and the balloon would fly away. But either way. So I was like, wouldn't it be cool if this person that suggested they wanted to see Venom actually got to see Venom, but with my own little twist. So this one is kind of just an extra one I threw in for you. So I thought it'd be cool if I had Pennywise trying to sell balloons and then Venom comes up and he's like, "My balloon!" So I started out drawing Pennywise. I was drawing him facing one direction, and I have some of the reference photos there on the side so that I could see the shape of his head and what I wanted him to look like. And I at first made him like a little too hunchy. I was really trying to like exaggerate that he was sad, so I was making him kind of slouched over, you know, with his legs kind of bent. And at some point I make it a little better. I went with the hunch thing, but I kind of tried to make it look a little more normal, not so whatever that was. Then going on to the more refined sketch, I shortened up his chin a little bit because I really wanted to give more of the emphasis on the cheeks. Don't know why I'm touching my face. Cheeks! And then I decided to use those like lines to kind of accentuate the frown and go down and then go up, just so that you could tell from far away that he was really frowning, really sad clown. And then there was all the ruffles. ruffles. The ruffles, man. The ruffles. The ruffles. They were kind of difficult just because it was like I didn't want every single ruffle to look the same. So I was like, how the heck am I supposed to do this? And then I just made them all look the same anyway. It was based on the angle you would see under the other side of the ruffle if it was at a certain angle. But some of them you didn't see it, and some of them I thought I'd just simplify so I didn't have to. So I made them different kinds of ruffles in different places so that it was different. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but that's what I did. Then I started on the actual balloon cart thing. I tried to find pictures of one of these in real life because I know that they existed at some point, but I couldn't find any, so I just used the one from Up and basically just took the entire design from the one from Up, but kind of did my own thing with it. And yes, it is flat, it's 2D. I didn't put any dimension on it. I don't know why, I just didn't think about it at the time. I wanted more of the emphasis to be on the characters, and that's just kind of like a prop in the background just so you know what's going on. I didn't even notice that it wasn't 3D until like the very end when I just saw it was flat, and I'm like, why is there no dimension to this thing? And then I was like, never mind, it's fine, I don't care. I didn't notice till the end, so you probably won't notice unless I mention it, which I did. So I'm drawing Venom now. So this one was kind of hard because, like I said before in some of my old videos, it's hard for me to draw like really bulky characters, and Venom is a very bulky, hunchbacked character. So I had to figure out a way to draw him in a new way. I couldn't go about it thinking of human anatomy. I had to go about it thinking of really weird shapes and bubbles and making him as cartoony shape-wise as I could, like really big top, really small legs, and it was a lot looser than when I normally draw people in anatomy because I know where the anatomy goes. I know which bubble is supposed to be where and kind of what shape it has to make it look more like a muscle. But not treating it like muscles actually made it easier for me to draw it. I just thought about it as giant shapes and used a couple references of Venom hunched over in that position so I could see maybe what he would look like. I moved some stuff around. His arms were too long at some point, but I just thought it was cool. There was sometimes I would do the shape where I'd go one direction and I would just go like the opposite real sharp. It was kind of like a reverse curve that goes like this, but sharper. And for some reason, I just naturally do those all the time when I'm drawing certain things. So I was like, maybe if I just put more of those in, then it might actually develop into like a more distinct style of mine. So Venom actually was a lot of experimenting here. It was a lot of testing my limits and really pushing my cartoony style and really trying to see how loose and how cartoony I could get it. And I think it turned out pretty okay. There's some things that are a little off with it because this was a new thing I was trying, but I'm actually pretty proud of how that looked out because let me tell you, if I tried to draw that thinking of anatomy and drawing people just as a bulky dude, he would not have looked like this. He would have looked really different. If you've seen some of my other characters that are kind of large, you probably know what I'm talking about, but this is pretty loose, pretty cool. And now I'm going on to the line art, and this was pretty much actually the most interesting part to me because I got to like do all the ruffles again and like make sure there was all lines and like the circle on the wheel. I used Lazy Nizumi, which is a line stabilizer, and it helps me get all those straight lines without it kind of jittering a little bit. But it also has this setting where you can make perfect circles around a certain place or radial lines that perspective lines, whatever. You make a point and all the lines go like this. So that's what I did for the balloons, but with my pressure sensitivity, it's kind of weird sometimes because depending on where I press, it's like it forgets that there's, I don't know, like the pressure sensitivity, like you can see it, like I started drawing the line and it would fade out near the bottom like it thought I was lifting up the pen, but I wasn't. So I don't know what that's about, but I tried to kind of like use it because sometimes if a string like that is shiny, you can't really see the middle, you just see where the shines are. So I was like, it's kind of realistic, I guess. So I just went with it, just decided to keep it because it's not like I was putting a lot of detail in that part of the drawing anyway. It's just a prop to know the setting and all that. Why do I keep repeating myself in this video? My gosh, more energy. So now I'm drawing Venom, and it was pretty much the same thing as before, but I got to really curve and do all the curves, and I made his mouth a little more curvy. Basically, I just put a lot of curves, ruffles. It's how you do things that look more dynamic and not stiff. Straight lines are stiff, curves are wiggly, and that's how you make it look like it's moving. So now we're going on to the color, and for this one I didn't want the colors to be super bright. I wanted them to be like a little darker, just slightly gloomier, but still bright enough. That way you could still tell that these were bad guys, but in a nice cartoony setting. So there was bright reds on his outfit instead of the really dark reds. His hair is a little redder, but I made everything else kind of a little more dark in grungy little brown because it wouldn't be like pure white like it's supposed to be. I don't even think in the remake, I don't even think it's supposed to be pure white. I think it's dirty because that looks dirty to me. But it's also in shadow in the reference picture, so I don't know. I did what I could do with that reference picture. I haven't actually seen the remake of it because I'm poor and I haven't been able to rent it, but I want to. I've seen the original and I have to say I really like the design of like the curves that kind of look like devil horns with the hair, and how the mouth kind of has this cat-like thing where it goes around the mouth and it goes up the eyes, because it takes a new twist with the whole lines through the eyes thing with the makeup that you normally see on clowns, and it carries it up with the smile and combines them. It's just a really cool twist on that clown makeup that I've never seen before that I really applaud. It looks really cool. And now I'm just coloring the balloons. I messed with the color here. I wanted to make sure that there was not the same color too close to that same color. I wanted it to be a little different. And then with just that color setting, I moved around the hue and saturation a little bit just to see if I could get some better colors with the colors that I originally had. So I ended up just changing it so that it was the opposite of the color it started as, so it's complement. And I don't know why that looked better to me, it just kind of did. So after that, I tried to mess around with the positioning of it because I didn't want his balloon to totally like disappear within the jumble of the other balloons. So I made sure that one stayed brighter red, and I also put more of a deeper stroke around Pennywise and his balloon, as well as making the balloons in the background a little more faint and a little more dark, less saturated, just so that they fell back a little bit and you weren't too distracted by them. With Venom, I decided to make him a real dark purpley, blackish color. So it's kind of blackish, but it's kind of purple, but it's really dark, and it's also a little less saturated. So because I like when he's got color and he's not just straight black, like if they do him with like blue or purple shadows, it just looks so much cooler. I don't know why, I just like really bright colors. So when I draw characters that normally have dark colors, like Batman maybe, I prefer to draw them with brighter colors. So if I draw Batman, I'll probably go with like the blue, gray, and yellow version instead of just like all black, or at least the black and gray, because it gives it some sort of dimensions and some difference. But I'll probably throw in blue if I can, because I just like when characters have the color there. And then when I did this speech bubble of him going, "My balloon," I decided it would be cool if I made it inverted. So I filled it in white and then I inverted the whole thing and all the color, and I kind of changed the hue a little bit. So instead of just pure black and white, it was like grayish and a little purpley, so it matched more of Venom's color scheme. And then I made Venom's outline really light gray as well to kind of make him pop a little more. And Pennywise, in case you didn't notice, his outline is like a really dark brownish red. I normally take that maroonish color and make the outlines that color if I'm trying to make something happier. And if it's supposed to be a little darker, then I'll make the outline like a real dark desaturated blue. And with dark characters like this, if the whole character is really dark, then I'll make it a real light gray. Not pure white, because I feel like that's just a little too much contrast, just a little too in your face and distracting, so I just make it a real light gray. And then at the end, I put a blue circle just like the other one, and it ended up looking like this. And I like this better than the other one, no offense. Sorry to the person that requested the other one, but I just love the way this one turned out. I think it's because of the mashup, actually, having Venom in there. I just think that's so cool. I love seeing characters put together that you wouldn't see put together because of like this really minute detail from one of the video games or something that only some people will know about. It's just like, because it's a small group of people that if they get that reference from that video game, they're like, I get you love, I did, yeah. But everybody else is just like, what the heck is Venom in there with, what does that make any, why? But it makes sense to me. So again, this is the first one, and shiny sparkles, oh yeah. And then this is the second one, shiny sparkles, oh yeah. So that's what it looks like. I really hope that you guys liked these. They were really fun to do, and I wanted to dedicate this video to you guys and just make sure I get some requests in and not just my own ideas, because I asked you for ideas because I wanted to do them, so I wanted to make sure I did them. So I hope that was satisfactory enough for you. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you're okay with there being no background, if the simplified version is good for you, or if you might want to see a more detailed version of this concept later. I could do it maybe as a commission if you want. And if anybody else has any suggestions for bad guys they want to see good, or just in some ironic situations, let me know in the comments and I'll do those too. And I'm probably going to continue to do this after Halloween, so it might just be like a year-long thing where I make some bad guys good or creepy creatures cute or just something like that, because I love to throw positivity at you guys. Just like turn bad things on their head and make them goofy. It's like one of my favorite things to do. So my channel's not going to be just that, don't worry. It's not going to be that every single week. But I just wanted to let you know that if you don't get your request, request in by the end of October, you'll still get a chance to get your request in at some point. So everybody can be happy, yay! Speaking of happiness, these are my patrons. They help support me on Patreon, and because of them, I was able to get some boots. And I can't show them to you. There they are. That was close enough. I'm not doing that again like I did in the last video. That was difficult. I'm like the fish from SpongeBob. My leg! You guys provide just enough that during this time when money's really, really tight, because in case you didn't know, I'm saving for braces. Yay! It's the first time in my life I can actually afford braces, kinda, sort of. So we have to save all of our money to make sure we get that big down payment, because it's expensive. So special thank you to those patrons, because right now in my life it is so extremely helpful to get that extra bit of money from you guys, because that helps me get groceries sometimes, it helps me get these boots because my dog ate my other boots. It's just so helpful right now. You guys don't even know. If you want to be a patron too, you can follow the link in the description. I have all the links to all of my social media in the description, including a video that talks about commissions and the pricing in case you want to see what that's about. Again, let me know if you guys have any other suggestions down there, because I want to make sure you guys get to see what you want to see, because we're doing this together and I wouldn't be doing this at all if there wasn't people to watch it. Like, that's why I do things. To make you happy, to make you smile, to make you feel loved. So leave the comments and I'll get to them eventually. Thanks again for the people that suggested the things that were drawn in this video. We were able to make a whole video together just from those suggestions. I can't wait to see what we all come up with next time. But if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up so that I know you did. And if you're wondering what I'm doing in between videos, you can follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm the most active, but I have a list of all the social media down in the description below. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye!